All right, chat. Welcome to the unhinged opening page of an early stream. What are we even going to get up to today? There's a lot of talk about YouTube terms of service in a age and day like today. But not for me. I don't know crap about the YouTube terms of service. I do know crap about them. I know everything in them. But I don't know it by heart, you know? And today is about a general reading of the YouTube terms of service. Bringing us on page with the standards that we can maintain. To be honest, I'm just not sure what we're not allowed to do. It'd be nice to know. That'd be nice to know. This is a really intrusive chat. Holy crap. Can it ever be fixed, I wonder? Let's check that chat. Oh, you can't hear the audio chat. Let's add the music back here. Here we go. That chat list was a little unhinged. Let's see if we can fix the zoom on that just a bit. Let's maybe we send a little test chat, see how that looks. Okay, a little less unhinged, but still pretty big. I'll take it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Oh, this has to be full screen for you to hear it? That's really unfortunate, eh? So we'd have to Spotify back here at best. So unfortunate. I mean, we could just make this a little buddy. Just hide behind my video. And what about this webcam? Okay, also hiding. Great. Great work. Maybe we're checking for... Okay, and what, did it minimize again? You guys can't hear. We're not getting any audio capture out of it? We're actually not getting any output on here. Oh, yeah. What if... There's just no way to capture. That's so cool. Okay, so here's the deal, chat. Let's add a capture of the proper Spotify application. There's no other way to do this. That's so unfortunate. We tried, okay? I want you to have music. The stream needs music, and I'm streaming on my separate rig here. It feels budget. Grab a glass of liquid here. We're not going to be playing factories today. Right away. We're not playing factories. We're reading YouTube terms of service, and we're making the stream better. This is not a fun stream, chat. This is not a good time, okay? You shouldn't be watching. Or maybe you should be watching because you have nothing going on. All right, let's download that client. Casual here. Nice. Run the Spotify setup. See if we can pull up these YouTube terms of service while we're waiting. YouTube terms of service. Okay. Here's what we got right here. Hello, YouTube terms of service. Oh, God. This is so much text, and there's no convenient, accessible way to view it. Nice. We'll just make the font really small. That's awesome. We love that. I mean, I could cheat the system here. I just hate it. The paid service terms of service? What? What's that? Paid service usage rules. How you access or use different types of paid services on YouTube. Collecting societies. Oh my God, chat, what is happening? Songwriters and composers become members of collecting societies to collect royalties from the use of their works. Not us, let's get out of there. Copyright notices. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. We can get into that when we investigate the interface for copyright notice. What's this? Rules and policies, community guidelines. Okay. Maybe we start with the community guidelines. No, I don't need cookies, thanks. What does ChatGPT think about all this? I remain skeptical of reading YouTube terms of service dry without any lube at all. Hold on. What's the best way to learn in exhaustive extent the YouTube terms of service? Great job, Windows. That was a fantastic translation. Love that for us. Follow the steps. Okay, we're going to read. I don't know. We'll see what ChatGPT thinks. I also don't trust ChatGPT as far as I can throw it. Read in its entirety. Okay, got it. We'll locate it and print it or read it slowly. Oh boy, slowly would not be the term we use for that. Break it down into sections, sure. Plain language guides. This is what I was hoping for. Yeah, maybe we could use from a reputable website or a legal blog. That'd be fine. But we'd have to like catch up on their latest goss to really get a historical picture. It feels like we are behooved to just read this ourselves anyway. Q&A platforms, sure. We'll check Reddit when we have questions. Consult with a legal expert. That might be a different stream. The YouTube community guidelines, copyright policies, advertiser-friendly content guidelines to understand how they interconnect with the terms of service. So yeah, that's probably going to be useful. The advertiser-friendly content guidelines, I don't know if that's going to be the most important part. It's not essential that we're monetized. It's just important that we don't get takedowns. Take notes and highlight key points, sure. Rules about uploading content, restrictions on behavior and usage. Yeah, analyze examples and case studies, stay updated, quiz yourself. Man, okay, ChatGPT, that wasn't super helpful, but I do appreciate. It's nice to have a second, third, fourth, or nth opinion here. Let's just come back to the main page and ask Chat about summarizing the text that we're getting here raw. Okay. Let's just start with community guidelines. Let's not get too serious. Okay, community guidelines, developing community guidelines, enforcing community guidelines, detecting violations, allowing EDSA, and taking action on violations. Okay. Can we just see all the text in here? Oh my goodness, links. Sections of links. Nice. Spam and deceptive practices, sensitive content, sections. Sections. Regulated goods sections. Violent or dangerous content. Misinformation. Educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic content. Must comply with the monetization policies. So we have links to sub-policies on the order of 20 or 30 policies here inside of just community guidelines alone. Let's go back to installing Spotify. Let's just take a look. Yeah, let's log in. That's great. We're going to need music for this. Let's see here. All right, Chad, let's get you some music here. All right, chat, here's the deal. I will read this patiently and silently with the help of ChatGPT, and you will just stay quiet, patiently, as we figure this out. Oh, man, we're not going to get through anything. It's going to take, like, the volume of content through which we have to go here is just kind of out of control. But let's just start. Maybe these are short. Maybe these are short. Stay optimistic. You can't go wrong with copying and pasting everything on the page directly into ChatGPT and starting there. You know what I mean? Let's just get a handle on what's possible. Oh boy, we don't need Satisfactory running in the background. Sorry to say. Nice. Okay, let's start a fresh little topic here. Alright, let's send that along and see what chat thinks. Okay. Which are the key sections that are most encountered by content creators in the community guidelines? Wow, great job, Windows. Great job. Which components of the text are the important sections of the YouTube terms of service which people come against most often as content creators? Most often as content creators. What's going on, Windows? You just not going to translate the words today? Fun. Okay. Okay. What do we got? Most commonly, spam and deceptive practices, the fake engagement, impersonation, and external links. Prohibits artificial boosting of views, likes, or subscribers. Impersonation bans pretending to be someone else or a brand. External links, disallowing linking to malicious or prohibited content. This has to be up. Oh, you guys aren't getting audio on this transition either. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, let's get you some music here, chat. One more time. There we go. And if I minimize this, still legit. Still legit. Cool. Sensitive content. Child safety. Strict rules against exploiting or endangering minors. Nudity and sexual content includes clear limitations on explicit content. Suicide and self-harm prohibits promoting or glorifying harmful behavior. Violent or dangerous content covers hate speech, which bans discriminatory content. Harassment and cyberbullying, which protects individuals from targeted abuse. Harmful or dangerous content, which prohibits challenges or pranks that could result in an injury. Okay, misinformation. Elections misinformation restricts false claims about election integrity. That's really specific. Wow. Medical misinformation prohibits health-related falsehoods that could cause harm. Okay. Okay. For creators who want to earn revenue, adherence to these policies is crucial. The ad-friendly guidelines, where the content must meet advertiser standards, including avoiding excess violence, vulgar language, and controversial issues. Whoa, you must avoid controversial issues. Let's go. Censorship for the monetized. Copyright compliance. Use of copyrighted material. I wonder if I'm allowed to talk about the censorship, or if that's censored as well as part of the terms of service. The copyright compliance. Use of copyrighted material without permission can lead to demonetization or strikes. Okay. Fair use. Here we go. Okay, so content ID matches upload content against copyrighted material and can result in claims. And fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material under specific circumstances. Yeah, we're really hoping to get the down and dirty on fair use here today. Let's add that to our to-do list. Maybe we'll just crack that open and see what we got. It's important for us to highlight some sections if we're going to structure our way through this. It's just hard to imagine exactly what that will look like. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe we're starting a fresh little to-do list here for this production. YouTube terms of service tasks, chat. Are you ready for tasks? Let's go. Let's go. We'll take this. Our to-do. Very good. Okay, well, we don't need a factory to-do list. I'm sorry to say that we're not going to be benefiting from all the quick wire and Caterium we put together. This is a disappointing legalistic endeavor. All right, but don't worry, there were still spreadsheets. I'm not going to disappoint you guys fully. Duplicate. Let's go. We'll get another scene here. We'll call this reading of YouTube, reading of the TOS, classic. That's going to happen all the time, I'm sure. Let's get you guys some music here again. Nice, welcome back. And a touch of spreadsheet should do you good. Girls, touch of spreadsheet. There we are. Oh. All right, we'll resize this here, but first, let's trim the top and the bottom. All right, trim those tops. We're just going to crop the top of our chat list here, our little task list, that is. You guys don't need those headers. Nice. All right, all right. Professor Clippingston, I presume? Is that readable, chat? Let's absolutely go. $36 casual. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll allow it. I will absolutely allow it. Oh, heavens. Heavens! Honestly, maybe 36 isn't wrong either. Alright, so the key piece we want to make sure we get into our list is just going to be as we go through, picking out these most important sections. YouTube's got so much going on that we have to pick and choose. This might even be way more than one stream. This could be a lot. So let's get fair use on the list. Let's dive into fair use when we get the chance. Once we do an overview of everything that's available here. Okay. Fair use. Question marks. How much can we do? And I mean, our monetization is not critical here, but it's important for us to know if we want to talk about it in a meaningful way. What is the monetization boundary? And what are the censored topics? I know we'll be dropping those topics for sure. If there's censorship, we're bumping into it, I guarantee. We are definitely not going to draft under EDSA here. Graphic topics may be allowed. I see, because we can get approval for sensitive or graphic topics if it's deemed to be educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic intent. Okay, well that's not out of the question for us, actually. Especially as a shield for communication. Very good. If we need to protect speech appropriately. Okay, that was a lot. Let's get back to those guidelines here. Thanks, task list. And that's a good crop. Oh, we could crop bottom on that, eh? Here, hold on, chat. Hold on. We'll crop the bottom. Delicious. Great work. We'll get through these one day. Ooh, that's big, though. That's big. Do ourselves a little word wrap, won't we? Format. Dude, so there's got to be an easy word wrap button here, right? It's a lot of buttons. There it is. All right. I see what's up. Cool. Away we go. All right, chat. Nice work. Nice work readjusting the window sizes. Yeah, how do we claim EDSA? When is it educational content, and was it just not? When is it just propaganda? Are we going to find out this is just case by case? Could be. Okay, let's grab those terms of service and take our next step. Spotify test list. And we'll add in a capture for the browser. She kind of busted. She kind of busted. Okay, good enough. As long as you guys can see it. Take that task list out there. Oh, dudes, and I am way too big here. I see. Wow, it's a production nightmare, everybody. I think we're just gonna drop that camera. Yep, nice. Okay, girl. Maybe these are quick. Let's just take a quick one. Fake engagement. Let's go. Okay. That's short. That is short. That is short. Okay. And with chat's help, maybe even shorter. Summary, key points, prohibited activities, using third-party services to artificially boost metrics, linking to or promoting services or websites that offer fake engagement, engaging in, oof, that's totally subjective, engaging in sub for sub, which is subscribing in exchange for subscriptions, got it, purchasing views or promoting such services and content. Legitimate engagement, I see. So fake engagement is when you're trying to emulate engagement with the channel externally through fake sources somehow, whatever that means, or through practices and scratching each other's backs. Engagement is legitimate when users interact authentically with content, whatever that means. Encouraging viewers to like, share, comment, or subscribe is allowed as long as it's not coerced or deceptive. Interesting, deceptive liking. Examples of violations. Testimonial videos endorsing artificial traffic providers. Links to services that promise increased subscribers. Okay, this is not applying to us at all. Violating content is removed. Yeah, there's enforcement and reporting. Users can report content channels for suspected. Yeah, sure. This is fine, whatever. Fake engagement, no problem. No problem. Okay. Great work, everybody. Taking a quick scan through the actual text here. Oh, that's not a full width. Here, let's pull that terms of service over. Yeah, let's get that right over. Oh, man, and these are too tall for y'all. You do your best, okay, chat? You do your best. Get your reading glasses. If you're posting content... Nope, that's fine. Good. How is engagement measured? Yes, indeed. Learn more about the strike system. If you get 3 strikes within 90 days, your channel will be terminated if this is your first time violating your community guidelines. You will have the chance to take a policy training to allow the warning to expire after 90 days. The 90-day period starts from when the training is completed, not when the warning is issued. However, if the same policy is violated within that 90-day window, the warning will not expire and your channel will be given a strike. See, this reminds me of the Twitch terms of service. Twitch has this in loose language that says if you make any effort to adjust the policy that was violated, that is sufficient if it happens a second time so that you don't reissue a strike. So it begins you on an absolution trail, on kind of like a reasonable track, but based on Twitch's discretion a little bit. YouTube's doing the same thing. They've just really formalized the hell out of it. It was helpful. Thanks, YouTube. Great job. Great job. Fake news, fake engagement. All right, impersonation. I know all about that. Let's see here. Content intended to improve. Oh, God. Reading with eyes again. It's short, though. Short. Good news, everybody. Good news. We'll just paste this in. Thanks, ChatGPT. You're really doing great tonight. It's a long night, a lot of reading. Okay. Prohibited key points. This is YouTube prohibits content or channels that impersonate individuals, brands, or other channels to mislead or confuse viewers. This includes personal impersonation, channel impersonation, and trademark infringements. Yep. Don't replicate another channel's profile name or design to appear similar. Don't use someone else's name or image. This is not going to apply to us. Don't create confusion about the source of goods or services. Ban accounts must clearly indicate their status. Example violations. Channels mimicking another's name or logo. Pretending to be someone else by using their personal details or posting comments under the name. Re-uploading another creator's content without clarification. See, that confuses me, because re-uploading another creator's content without clarification is going to be the same as infringement. I guess that, yeah, they did lump it in, didn't they? Yeah, they're putting... Just copy. Yeah, it's trademark holders as well. Okay, yeah, just a branch of it. Impersonating an official news channel. And enforcement, content violating the policy may result in the channel or account terminated. Yeah, it's the same, because it falls under the community guidelines. You just get another strike and you fall into the strike system for this. Okay, let's just do a quick scan here. If you see content that violates this policy, report it. Indeed. Gosh, that's so unreadable. Sorry, guys. Let me just make that a little better. Okay. Yeah, we got those examples. Yeah, that's great. That was helpful. Thank you, YouTube. Very helpful, as usual. Okay, great job. Okay, 2 down. 2 down. How many to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 23, but there's sublinks. But I'm taking 23 as a number for the community guidelines. And then after the community guidelines, we can go to the other 7 sets of guidelines. This is easy. Okay. Number 3, external links. Links that users send to content that violates the community guidelines are not allowed. If you find content that violates this policy, report it. same words over and over again. Please just summarize this, chat. I can't believe how unsuccinct this is. Chat, I hope you're not reading with your eyeballs, like old-fashioned people. You better be using some robots. Okay, YouTube external links policy. It prohibits posting links in any content that direct users to external sites violating community guidelines, which includes video descriptions. So if I had like a website of my content and I had richer content there that didn't meet the community guidelines because of censorship, then I wouldn't be able to link to that content through my page. I wouldn't be able to direct users there if it wasn't a direct extension of YouTube's policy. Including pornographic websites, sites that install malware or phishing, unauthorized access to paid content or services, fundraising or recruiting for terrorist organizations. Okay. Sites hosting child sex abuse imagery, sites selling regulated goods, hate, harassment, or violent content, medical misinformation, including content, COVID-19 falsehoods. Nice. Okay, getting real specific up here in the terms of service. Content misleading voters or undermining democratic processes. Okay, it's a strongly democratic-leaning company. I see. Forms of links, clickable URLs, obfuscated links, .com. Oh, the words .com. Oh, interesting. We can't obfuscate those links. Surely, that'd be silly. Affiliate links. Generally allowed unless excessively posted in ways that violate spam policies. Yeah, that's probably fine. I'm not planning to start affiliate advertising anytime soon anyway. A video description linking to a pornographic site or phishing website would be a violation. Encouraging viewers to copy an unclickable link, sharing links to misinformation about vaccines or elections, verbally directing viewers to a site hosting banned content. Okay. No big deal here. No big deal. Gosh, and is YouTube or is Alphabet Company going to have the undertaking to visit those sites and provide that level of individual jurisdiction? Not in the next year, but maybe in the future. With the rise of AI, they'll just blanket make judgments, I think. And that'll be a good move. The safety... Okay, what am I reading now? God. Spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. You know what? I am just going to skim this as fast as I can. If you're posting content... Don't post anything that is video spam, misleading metadata or thumbnails, scams, incentivization scams. Okay, looks great. Yeah, great job, everyone. Playlists. Okay. Playlists policy? We know it's not often intentional, but there may be times when playlists contain content that's not allowed on the platform. I mean, how would it contain content that's not allowed on the platform if the playlist itself has videos from YouTube? Here's a simple way to think of it. If you were to combine all the playlist's videos into one single video, and that video were to violate our community guidelines, then the playlist may violate the community guidelines as well. I see. So this is just a reason to ban playlists under their own discretion. Because all the individual videos would not have violated the policy somehow. So somehow the collection of ideas is dangerous, but the individual ideas themselves are fine. Interesting. What's an example? Playlists with thumbnails, titles, or descriptions that violate our community guidelines, such as those that are pornographic or that I mean, that was already covered under a separate section, though. So the playlist must be getting a separate thumbnail than the videos themselves. I see. Playlists with titles, and the titles and descriptions are unique to the playlist. That makes sense. So all of the content that falls into the metadata of the playlist also have to fall. Okay, whatever, dude. Obviously. Here's some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. A playlist of news footage of aerial bombings accompanied by titles such as Best Bombings. Shit, man. Wow, yeah, the words matter, I guess. A playlist with a title that calls for the segregation of people with intellectual disabilities, so specific. A playlist that posts an individual's non-public personal identifying information like a phone number, home address, or email. Wow, doxing. A playlist that collects videos of dangerous or threatening pranks, such as a playlist of fake home invasions or robberies. But those videos would be allowed? Dangerous or threatening pranks would be allowed? I don't think so. Surely the playlist would be banned if the videos are banned. If this is your first time violating community guidelines. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the 90. Yeah, it's all policies. Okay, what else do we have here? Playlist additional policies. We love additional policies under the community guidelines policies. Encouraging terms of service violations is itself a policy. Good. Posting previously removed content or content from terminated restricted creators. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so airing content that got banned for whatever reason. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. No, it's not free speech here for sure. If you post such content, it may be removed and your YouTube channel may be also penalized or terminated, which may also apply to other channels you own. Okay, this is really short, this section. Age requirements on Google Plus messages. Confirm your age. Looks good. All right, 7 down, 23 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 down, 23 to go. Okay, child safety policy. Okay, this is a video. Can I just watch this instead? I don't think so, right? You gotta read the terms of service. You have to read every word, right? Yeah, we gotta read every word. Here, we'll watch the video as well, though. Let's pause the music. Oh, man, yeah. Are you guys gonna get this audio, though? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. All right, hold on to your butts.
True or false? Videos of minors in real school fights are allowed on YouTube. What do you think? The answer is false. Content that endangers the emotional and physical well-being of minors is not allowed on YouTube. A minor is someone who's not an adult, which is anyone younger than 18 years old in most countries. If you see content that violates this policy, please report it. If you believe that a child is in danger, you should reach out to your local law enforcement agency to report the situation immediately. Let's look at more examples.
Okay, come back to that
uploads
policy.
A video teaching their child how to ride a dirt bike. The child wears safety equipment appropriately and is well supervised by their parent. Another creator uploads a video featuring a group of minors setting up fireworks without the presence of adults. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines? Yes, the second video violates the child safety policy. When a child is clearly supervised by an adult, some activities
this feels like a
risk
corporate
are
training
allowed
video,
as long as
100%.
those activities don't violate community guidelines. But what about pulling a prank on a kid? Pretending that their family abandoned them? Would that be a violation? To learn that and more, go to the YouTube Help Center article on child safety.
I think it became
Click
a
here
violation
or the link
after
in
a
the
certain
description.
channel did a certain
Thanks for watching.
something. I have a feeling. Yeah, no, there have been many controversies. I'm glad to see the community guidelines have come on page. Great job, everyone. Oh man, can I please get a summary of this? There's so much extra content in here, though. Hold on, let's just get this in here. Let's just make sure we expand all of the subsections. The privacy settings, yes, we'll get there. YouTube's privacy settings, yes. You can get the best practices for child safety. Be internet awesome. What? What kind of neoliberal banking sponsored censorship machine is this? Empowering kids to be safe, confident explorers of the online world. Nice. Looks great. Okay, more great support. Examples of content not allowed. Okay, more examples. Expand that. And what's this link? Challenges, pranks, or stunts. We're not going to be doing challenges, stunts, or pranks. I can barely walk to the store, chat. We're not doing stunts. What happens if content violates this policy? Good. Learn more about the strike system. Okay, it's the same old strike. Chat, it's your time. Summarize. boy. Yeah, nice.
Summary. YouTube Child Safety Policy. YouTube prioritizes the safety and well-being of minors under 18 years old and prohibits content that endangers their physical or emotional well-being. The policy applies across videos, descriptions, comments, and other YouTube features. Key prohibitions. 1. Sexualization of minors. Any sexually explicit content featuring minors. Exploitation, including minor nudity or provocative content. 2. Harmful or dangerous acts. Videos showing or encouraging minors to engage in dangerous activities, e.g., using firearms unsupervised, misusing fireworks, or stunts, encouraging viewers, minors or otherwise, to imitate dangerous acts. 3. Misleading family content. Content targeted at minors or families but containing adult themes, e.g., sexual content, violence, or medical procedures. Family-friendly cartoons with inappropriate adult themes like drugs or death. 4. Cyberbullying and harassment. Content shaming, insulting, or exposing personal information about minors, encouraging bullying or harassment. 5. Predatory behavior. Communications about minors for sexual gratification. Aggregating innocent content of minors for inappropriate purposes. 6. Content involving minors. Filming minors in private spaces, e.g. bedrooms or bathrooms. Challenges, dares, or stunts involving minors that could cause harm or humiliation. Age-restricted content. YouTube may add age restrictions to harmful acts that could be imitated, family-friendly content featuring adult themes, content with excessive profanity or sexually explicit language. Protection for content featuring minors. Some features may be disabled, e.g., comments, live chat, recommendations. Ensure minors perform age-appropriate activities under supervision. Avoid revealing personal information or inappropriate attire. Enforcement. 1. Content removal. Violating content is removed, and creators are notified via email. 2. Warnings and strikes. First violations typically result in a warning and optional policy training. 3 strikes within 90 days lead to account
All right,
termination.
great work, Chad. That's fine. That's fine. Literally, none of that's going to come into play. There's not going to be any children on the channel in any way, shape, or form. I guarantee. And any videos we watch, they're going to come off YouTube at best. So YouTube should have already filtered that crap. Okay, thumbnails. I mean, here's the major problem with the law in general, and not just YouTube terms of service. But we will become liable for things we have said in the past when they were legal, and the laws will change. You can tell that these terms of service have significantly evolved since the content on YouTube challenged the company to provide what was either a safe or not safe argument for advertisers. And so I'm going to become liable, like many, after the fact, for things that were okay some time ago. So it's important to recognize that you are under requirement to censor the past as well by maintaining a channel. That's part of your job here. Okay, thumbnails policy. I don't think this is going to come into play either. Nothing I do is interesting as well, so sex acts, we'd be lucky for that. Sex toys? Nope, that's not going to happen. Other sexually gratifying imagery. Nudity, including genitals. Can't see how that will fly. Imagery that depicts unwanted sexualization. Violent imagery that intends to shock or disgust. Graphic or disturbing imagery with blood or gore. Vulgar or lewd language. A thumbnail that misleads viewers to think they're about to view something that's not in the video. Oh boy, that is so generic. I would say most thumbnails mislead viewers to think they're about to view something. Like, usually you think you're going to watch something interesting, and it usually is not. Okay. The above list isn't complete. Note. Here's what we consider when we remove or age restrict these kinds of thumbnails. Whether breasts, buttocks, or genitals are the focal point of thumbnails. Okay, I used to work for a certain dating company, and that certain dating company had a advertising policy whereby advertisements were allowed for even sexually explicit advertisements up to a certain point, as long as the head of the person was smaller or the same size as the breasts. Seems fair to me. Arbitrary. Whether the subject is depicted in a pose or clothing that is intended to sexually arouse the viewer, whether violent or gory imagery is the focal point, whether written text is intended to be vulgar, or whether the title, description, tags, or other data intended to intend or shock or disgust the viewers. So what happens? Yeah, it's the same. It's 90 days. Nice work, everybody. These are really broad, and again, just to highlight back to most legal systems in the West that I'm aware of, this will put on the channel creator the burden of censoring past content as policies evolve. So that's an unfortunate realization for me, but it just is life in the West right now. Was that thumbnails? We didn't even get to nudity and sexual content. Hold on. Are you joking? Let's just watch the video, chat. Hold on, just watch the video.
True or false? Nudity is never allowed on YouTube. What do you think? The answer is false. While sexually explicit content like pornography isn't allowed, we actually allow nudity when the primary purpose is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic. And if there's no nudity, but minimal clothing meant only to be sexually provocative, it'll likely be age-restricted. Let's take a look at other examples. A creator uploads a video about the greatest works of art in history, which contains nude artwork. In another video, a creator uploads a compilation of hacked photos and clips that contain nude celebrities. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines?
We would never allow hacked art in our
Yes.
community.
The second video violates the sex and nudity policy because
Only
the content and
real
purpose of the
unhacked
video
artists.
is meant to be sexually gratifying.
Noted.
Of course, there are gray areas and lots more to our policy around sex and nudity on YouTube. How much of it do you understand? For example, what if you just made a playlist of clips of celebrity wardrobe accidents? Could your channel get a strike? To learn the answer and more, go to the YouTube Help Center article on sex and nudity. Click here or the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
So I guess we're not going to be able to finish that pixelated face or nipple game we wanted to make. That's not going to happen on the channel. Good job, team. Okay. Do I need to read this? Like, okay, so randomly, what if I have a nip slip? Is that nudity? And is that, yeah, hold on. Don't post. Gratification. It has nothing to do with gratification. Gratification. Masturbation, fondling, using sex toys, non-consensual nudity or partial nudity that's meant for sexual gratification. So if it's a total nip slip, I don't think that qualifies. Unwanted, wardrobe accidents or nude photo leaks. No! Wardrobe accidents! That's important to note. Wardrobe accidents. Or nude photo leaks. Good heavens. And again, this is the 90-day warning, so you can have a nip slip and 3 strikes you're out, but with remediation and begging Alphabet Company, you too can continue to be the product for them. Violent, graphic, or humiliating fetish content, aggregating content that's meant for sexual gratification. Now the above list is complete. Holy crap. Okay, educational content. Here we go. Let's look at the reverse. This policy applies to videos, video descriptions, comments, live streams, audio, or any YouTube product or feature. We may allow sexual content when the primary purpose is educational, and it isn't gratuitous. A documentary on breast cancer that shows nude breasts would be appropriate, but posting clips out of context to sexually gratify from the same documentary is not. The same applies to depictions of sex scenes in artistic content, such as films, audio, stories, music, or video games. For example, a film with a sex scene may be allowed if it included details such as the name of the film, director, actors in the video content, and in the video description. Remember that giving context in this content title and description will help us and your videos determine the primary purpose of the video. Giving context in the content title and description. Yeah. Yeah, okay. YouTube videos, they want descriptions. As opposed to like a Twitch live stream where you want to kind of clickbait people in to the video a little bit. So yeah, maybe we're better suited for just live streaming on Twitch and then pushing content to YouTube instead of going to YouTube live. I'm not sure. Yeah. I just don't know why you wouldn't stream on YouTube if you are streaming on Twitch at the same time. Like, are we not going to be able to maintain terms of service? I doubt it. Nothing we've bumped into so far is red flagging for us, for our channel, or for our content intentions. So far, so good. Yeah, nothing surprising here. What happens if we violate? We're back into the 90 days. Okay. Great job. Okay, suicide and self-harm. Here, let me give you guys some music background here. Nice. Oh, there's a note here on eating disorders policy. All right, let's see if there's any content to expand here. Whoa, I see. Suicide and self-harm support resource. Okay, amazing. So I could even provide these supports to listeners as part of standard safety protocols we can include in video descriptions or content. So they're giving suicide and self-harm support resources if you are depressed, having thoughts of suicide, self-harming, or experiencing an eating disorder. Know that there is help and you're not alone. Suicide and resources, let's see. Suicide and self-harm support. Findahelpline.com. List of suicide crisis lines. Excellent. Argentina, it's listed by country here. We're in Canada, so Talk Suicide Canada. Nice. Okay. And so, and a list of eating support, or eating disorder support resources. And here's the community guidelines for posting suicide, self-harm, or eating disorder related content. YouTube users should not be afraid to speak openly about the topics of mental health, suicide, self-harm, and eating disorders in a supportive and non-harmful way. However, there are times when content is created that's sensitive and may pose a risk for some users. When you create content that contains suicide, self-harm, or eating disorder related topics, take into account the possible negative impact of your content on other users. Yeah. Videos, video descriptions, comments, live streams, any other product or feature. These policies also apply to external links in your content. Including clickable URLs or verbally directing users to other sites and video. Don't post the following content. Content promoting or glorifying suicide, self-harm, or eating disorders. Instructions on how to die by suicide, engage in self-harm, or engage in eating disorders, including how to conceal them. Instructions on how to die by suicide. Wow. That's intense. Engage in self-harm or engage in eating disorders. Content related to suicide, self-harm, or eating disorders that is targeted at minors. Content related to suicide, self-harm, or eating disorders that contains graphic images or self-harm visuals of bodies or suicide victims that are, unless they're blurred or covered so they're fully obscured. Videos showing the lead up to a suicide or the suicide attempts and suicide rescue footage without sufficient context. Content showing participation in or instructions for suicide and self-harm challenges. Blue whale or Momo challenges? What is that? Suicide notes or letters without sufficient context. Content that features weight-based bullying in the context of eating disorders. Oh, excuse me, Chad. Wow, these are thrilling to read. Thrilling. Well, I'm not streaming Satisfactory Live, honeys. That's not what's happening. Nice. Best practices for creators posting content about suicide, self-harm, and eating disorders. Use wording that's positive and supportive and focuses on recovery, prevention, and stories of hope. Avoid showing the person who died by suicide and respect their name and their family's privacy. Include information and resources for suicide and self-harm prevention and coping strategies. Do not use sensationalist language or dramatic visuals. Provide context, but avoid discussing how the victim died by suicide. Do not mention the methods or locations. Okay, this is way too detailed for us, and we are not going to be discussing suicide in depth unless we are confronted with a serious topic on the video, in which case I'll have to think hard before posting without a description. So we'll be able to make videos. Oh, excuse me. Wow. We'll be able to make videos that include information about suicide as long as we maintain coherence with these policies. And I can see that there could be a situation for that. If we review a popular news case where someone might be, where suicide might have been a relevant topic, then we might be engaging in those policies directly. All right, let's take 5 minutes here, Chad. I just need to, rest my throat. Take a minute. Gotta rest my eyes, maybe. These are policies so long. These policies. Nice, but so far so good. We've gone through. Oh, we've done a good number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. 10 of 23-ish. Okay, so we'll do vulgar language when we get back. All right. Hold tight, chat. We'll see you soon. Oh, maybe I can put our to-do list up here. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, a little to-do list here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What am I eating, chat? Let's take a look. What is happening? Whoa. Where am I eating, chat? Whoa, 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 whoa. Did we get this on the camera? Gross. Let's go. It's a pickle for sure. And some bleached out toast with sardines. This is just too damn bright. It's too damn bright. You can see that delicious nuance in the fish. Too damn bright. There we go. Pickles. Sardines. Class. Athens. It's terrible, thank you. Oh, yeah. Not intended for sexual pleasure. Delicious. Okay, vulgar language. That's concerning me. That's gonna be a relevant section for us, eh? Oh crap! I gotta pee, chat. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right, chat. It's either me or you. We're going into this terms of service mine. No one's come out on it. You know what they say about the terms of service. Do you know what they say about the terms of service? All right. Vulgar language, chat. You know what that is, I bet. Huh? Do we have any people aware of vulgar language in the chat? Do we need our task list here? We'll come back to that. I mean, ugh. Try to get that music a little quieter there for a chat. I can't tell if the balance is good or bad by looking at my equalizers. Like, how is it even? Could we create a stream tester? Where we check levels? was so good. And the pickle. How to go wrong with a pickle? Mmm. Okay. Okay, I think this is kind of complicated. Let's just, oh, that's short. Whoa. Okay. Explicit content that violates this policy could result in age restriction, content removal, or a strike. So we don't really want to get age restricted in our content. We may consider the following factors when deciding whether to age restrict, remove content, or issue a strike. Okay, so this is why RimWorld content isn't easily airable on YouTube, right? Use of sexually explicit language or narratives. Use of excessive profanity in the content. Use of heavy profanity or sexually suggestive terms in the content's title, thumbnail, or associated metadata. Use of excessive sexual sounds. Excessive sexual sounds. The above list isn't complete. Here are some examples of content that may be age restricted. A video focused on the use of profanities, like a compilation song or clip taken out of context. A video that uses heavy profanities in the title. Chat, would it be better if we just didn't use profanities? We could simply not be profane. What do you think, chat? Like, some of the content we create will be appropriate for Twitch. Like these live reaction videos. When that content goes onto my YouTube channel, it'll have to be age restricted. But not all of the content I create needs to be age restricted. A video that repeatedly uses vulgar or sexual language. Heavy profanities. The title of a song with a curse word or a song that contains a large amount of profanity. Yeah, it's contextual as well. Okay. Harassment and cyberbullying. Oh, we got a video chat. Hold on to your butts. Oh, goodness. chat. Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm not dying. I'm burping. It feels painful.
True or false? If you make a video that encourages viewers to post cruel and malicious comments on another video, that could result in a strike on your channel. The answer is true. Content or behavior intended to harass, threaten, or bully others is not allowed on YouTube. Neither is maliciously recording someone without their consent or revealing someone's private personal information. Let's take a look at some examples. Creator A is angry after a heated exchange with Creator B and decides to share Creator B's personal home address and private phone number in a video that encourages viewers to send nasty messages to Creator
That doesn't
B.
sound allowed.
In another video, a creator wants fans to communicate with them directly via social media, so they share their social media handles and email address on their channel. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines?
Yeah.
Yes. The first video violates our harassment policy.
Yeah.
Don't use YouTube to maliciously share personal information about another individual. But how about photo editing someone's face into an embarrassing image? What about uploading videos of prank calls to emergency services? Are those violations too? To learn those answers and more about our harassment policy, go to the YouTube Help Center article linked here, or use the link in the
Don't
description.
cuck us out of the
Thanks for
explanation. We
watching.
came to the video for knowledge. Oh boy. Oh man, whatever. They don't allow content that targets someone with prolonged insults or slurs based on physical traits or protected group status like age, disability, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or race. We also don't allow other harmful behaviors like threats or doxing. Keep in mind that we take a stricter approach on content that targets minors. Don't post content if it fits any of these descriptions. Content that contains prolonged insults or slurs based on someone's intrinsic attributes. These attributes can include their protected group status, physical attributes, or their status as a survivor of sexual assault, non-consensual intimate imagery distribution, domestic abuse, child abuse, and more. Content uploaded with the intent to shame, deceive, or insult a minor. This means intending to make a minor feel unpleasant emotions like distress, shame, or worthlessness, intending to trick them to behave in ways that may harm themselves or their property, or engaging in name-calling toward them. Content that shares, threatens to share, or encourages others to share non-public, personally identifiable information. PII includes but is not limited to home address, email address, and sign-in credentials. This does not include posting widely available public information like an official's office phone number or the phone number of a business. Good to know. This policy applies to sharing your own personally identifiable information, sharing someone else's PII, and situations where you accidentally share PII. Content must clearly indicate when fake PII is shared. For example, using fake login credentials as part of training. Content that encourages abusive behaviors, like brigading. Brigading is when an individual encourages the coordinated abuse of an identifiable individual on or off YouTube. Content that promotes harmful conspiracy theories or that targets someone by claiming they're part of a harmful conspiracy theory. Yeah. Content that threatens an identifiable... Yeah, content that promotes harmful conspiracy theories or that targets someone by claiming they're a part of a harmful conspiracy theory. Interesting. So we can brand information as conspiratorial in context, and content creators must not promote ideas that are branded as conspiracy theories. Harmful conspiracy theories. Whew, harmful conspiracy theories. So having an opinion is different than saying that something is true, right? Like claiming it's a conspiracy. As long as it's your opinion, and it does not promote a conspiracy theory, a harmful conspiracy theory. I see. Sorry, Chad, I found some crap on my desk that I couldn't identify, and I had to put my fingers all over it. Content that threatens an identifiable individual or their property. This includes implicit threats that don't specify a time or place, but may feature a weapon, for example. Content that depicts a staged meetup that is used to accuse an identifiable individual of egregious misconduct with a minor without the presence of law enforcement. Content revealing or mocking the death of serious injury of an identifiable individual. Content that realistically simulates deceased minors or victims of deadly or well-documented major violent events, describing their death as violence experienced. Content that depicts creators simulating acts of serious violence against other. Content that depicts creators stalking of an identifiable individual, minors or some role as a victim of a well-documented major or violent event, or that denies or minimizes someone's role. Content that contains unwanted sexualization of an identifiable individual, including content that describes someone in a lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner. Content that contains unwanted sexualization of an identifiable individual, including content that describes someone in a lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner. Content that shares, requests, or shows how to distribute non-consensual intimate imagery, or content that fantasizes about, threatens, or supports sexual assault. Man, these are a lot of different brands of ideas together. But there's really strong sexual themes across the what are we reading? Harassment and cyberbullying policy. Content that contains unwanted sexualization of an identifiable individual. Lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner. Yeah, okay, so degrading is not necessarily being critical of someone. It's when you... Can I get a definition on this stuff? Let's ask chat. Let's ask chat to help us out here. What would qualify as content that is... graphic descriptions of sexual acts, anatomy, or behavior, phrases or words intended to evoke sexual imagery or stimulation, lewdness, content designed to be overtly vulgar or lascivious in tone, use of crude humor or language to objectify or sexualize someone, I see. Lascivious. Feeling or revealing an overt... Can I get a zoom in on this? Yeah. Wow, I won't even show the definition. That's such a scam. Google. Google, what the hell, dude? We have to go to a website for this. That's so unfortunate. Someone that respects wrapping the text. Lewd or lustful, filled with or showing sexual desire. Arrested for lewd and lascivious assault, crude and lascivious remarks. And degradation, statements or descriptions that demean, insult, or reduce a person to their physical or sexual attributes. Language implying a lack of consent, humiliation, or inferiority in sexual context. Let's just get that. The act or process of degrading. To lower in grade, rank, or status. To strip of rank or honors. To lower to an inferior or less effective level. To scale down to desirability or saleability. To degrade. To bring to low esteem or into disrepute. This is really hard to understand. It's hard to understand because these are like, these words couch each other. So there isn't like clear definitions actually it's pretty clear from the writing of the terms of service. The lawyers who wrote this are aware of that. They've couched language that makes it possible to squirm into or out of anything in these arenas, it appears. Degradation is a wide range of statements, and to lesser or to make something less saleable as a definition for degradation would allow for an arbitrary judgment. You know, you could say that something was vulgar because it decreased the saleability of a product that an advertiser wanted to sell on your platform. So you can't, it censors negativity. It's not just, degradation is its own whole frame. Interesting. Objectification. Non-consensual overtones. Okay, great. Content that shares, requests, or shows how to distribute non-consensual intimate imagery. Content that fantasizes about, threatens, or supports sexual assault also qualify as content that contains unwanted sexualization of an identifiable individual. Okay, that seems fine. That seems fine. Now that we got definitions for all of these separate pieces, having an opinion about someone, it doesn't protect you from describing them in a lewd or degrading manner. So, how does this apply to videos that criticize other YouTube channels? Like if you open fire on a YouTube channel, something that contains unwanted. Okay, yeah, this is all for unwanted sexualization, which includes degradation. Yeah. Oh boy. It's not sexualization if it's just a criticism, though. This is all under harassment. And, oh, man. Why is it all about sex all the time in here? There's nothing in here about just having a harsh opinion about another crew. It's highly specific bans on what you say. It relates to specific categories around death or sex or embarrassment, harm, conspiracy theory, political influence. It relates to the categories that money usually influence. So money doesn't like to be tread on by non-payers. You got to pay for platforms and opinion if you want them. As the advertisers have done readily here in YouTube's terms of service, let's great to see this. Exceptions, debates related to high-profile officials and leaders. Content featuring debates or discussions of topical issues concerning individuals have positions of powers. If the primary purpose is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic nature, we may allow content that includes harassment. These exceptions are not a pass to harass someone. Some examples include scripted performances, insults made in the context of an artistic medium, such as a scripted satire, stand-up comedy, or music, such as a diss track. Note, the exception is not a pass to harass someone and claim I was joking. So you're allowed to harass someone if they're made in an artistic medium, such as a scripted satire, stand-up comedy, or music. Interesting. So music is fine. Music's fine. You can sing your anger away. Ah! Cool. Harassment, education, and awareness. Content that features actual or simulated harassment for documentary purposes or with willing participants, such as actors, to combat cyberbullying. Good. Good. You need to be able to talk about it. There's an exception. Yeah, there's an exception for that. Monetization and other penalties. In some rare cases, we may remove content or issue other penalties when a creator repeatedly encourages abusive audience behavior, insults and abuses an identifiable individual based on their intrinsic attributes across several uploads. In some rare cases, content or issue other penalties when a creator. Yeah, so it's not against the rules to do these things, but they may issue a penalty. Exposes an individual to risks of physical harm based on a local or social political context. Creates content that harms the YouTube community by persistently inciting hostility between creators for personal financial gain. I can understand why this is in the terms of service. You don't want the creators eating each other alive. Okay. Here's some examples of content that is not allowed. Repeatedly showing pictures of someone and then making statements like, look at this creature's teeth, they're so disgusting, with similar commentary targeting intrinsic attributes throughout the video. Yeah, reducing their physical appearance, we got that. Targeting an individual based on their membership in a protected group, such as by saying, look at this, slur targeting a protected group. Slurs that target non-protected groups are okay, however, by the way. Oh, this is the hate speech policy. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I don't know why we would be attacking protected groups. And if we ever, in general, when making good arguments, try to narrow in on who you're talking about. Painting with broad brushes in general isn't going to work for us on this channel. So let's just make sure we're always very specific about who we're talking about and the particularities of who makes that who. Targeting an individual and making claims they are involved in human trafficking in the context of a harmful conspiracy theory where the conspiracy is linked to direct threats or violent acts. Using an extreme insult to dehumanize individuals based on intrinsic attributes. Look at this dog of a woman. She's not even a human being. She must be some sort of mutant or animal. That's too bad. Targeting an individual and expressing a wish for their death or serious injury. I hate her so much. I wish she'd just get hit by a truck and die. Depicting an identifiable individual being murdered or seriously injured. A video includes a clip from a movie where one character is brutally shot and killed. The video is edited so that a real individual's photo is placed over the actor's face. Oh my gosh. Jesus, this just gets crazier and crazier as you go down the list. Harassment and cyberbullying. I can't imagine we could possibly give the fuck to harass someone. Holy. Just expending the energy. Bum 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 bum. Ba 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 bum. All right, that's another section. Note, on June 5th, 2019, we announced some changes to our hate speech policies. You can learn more about those changes here. Okay, hold on, before we get ahead of ourselves. Let's just watch this, yeah?
True or false? If you make a video that compares people to animals or bugs because of their race or nationality, that could result in a strike on your channel.
Oh, yeah.
The answer is true. Hate speech is not allowed on YouTube. We remove content promoting violence or hatred against members of protected groups, including but not limited to race, gender, sexual orientation, or religious affiliation. We may allow content that includes hate speech, like news coverage of world events, if the primary purpose is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic in nature. But this is not a free pass to promote hate speech, and it's important that the purpose of the video is not to directly encourage violence or promote hatred against individuals or groups. Let's take a look at a few examples. A creator uploads a video using slurs to describe members of a religious group and goes on to say the world would be better off without these people.
Wow.
In another video, a documentary features interviews with people from two different religious groups, during which the interviewees use derogatory words. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The first video violates our hate content policy. YouTube does not allow use of slurs with the intent to attack, dehumanize, or degrade members of protected groups. But what about a documentary that shows people promoting hate speech? Would that be okay? To learn that and more about our policies around hate content,
Can't know.
go to the YouTube
Depends
Help
what
Center
YouTube says.
article linked here, or use the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Okay, we got through hate speech there accidentally through harassment and cyberbullying, but we jumped over harmful and dangerous content. Okay, we get a video here too.
True or false? Making a video where your friend appears to choke you and you challenge others to try it is okay as long as no one gets hurt in your video.
No.
The answer is
No.
false. Content that encourages illegal or dangerous activities is not allowed on YouTube. Neither is content that risks serious physical harm or death. A video that depicts illegal or dangerous acts may be allowed if the primary purpose is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic, and it isn't gratuitously graphic. For example, a news piece on the dangers of choking games would be appropriate, but posting clips out of context with the intent to shock viewers might not be. Let's take a look at another example. A creator uploads a video about how to make a rocket using baking soda, vinegar, and an empty bottle. They encourage viewers to try the scientific experiment with adult supervision. In another video, a creator shows how to make Molotov cocktails and encourages people to use them for riots. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines? Yes, the second video violates the harmful dangerous policy. YouTube does not allow instructional bomb or explosive making when the main purpose of the produced item is to cause serious injury. But what about prank and challenge videos? When do those violate YouTube's community guidelines? To learn that and more about our policies around harmful or dangerous content, go to the YouTube Help Center article linked here, or use the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Starting in March 18th this year, the policy on harmful and dangerous content will be updated to include a stricter stance on audience disclaimers and updated guidelines to better assess the risk of potential harm of the act portrayed. YouTube does not allow content that encourages dangerous or illegal activities that risk serious physical harm or death. Read the full harmful or dangerous content policies. Get examples. Oh, is it long? Whatever. We're browsing this one. We're getting through. We're going through. It's not a complete list. This content isn't allowed. Harmful or dangerous acts, challenges, pranks, weapons content, instructions to kill or harm, instructions that show or tell viewers how to perform activities that are meant to kill or severely harm others, explosives, giving instructions to make explosive devices or compounds meant to injure or kill others, firearms. For more info, review our firearms policy. Digital security content. Instructional theft. Instructional theft videos posted with the express intent to steal physical goods or to get something for free. Hacking. Bypass payment for digital content or services. Phishing. Crypto phishing. Illegal or regulated goods or services. Extremely dangerous challenges. Asphyxiation, misuse of weapons, ingesting harmful substances, burning, freezing, electrocution, mutilation, and blunt force trauma. Intentional physical harm, making someone feel like they're in immediate danger. Emotional distress to minors or vulnerable individuals. Risking serious harm or death. Extremely dangerous driving. Bomb making or violence involving children. Here's a list of age-restricted content. Meets one or more of the following criteria. There is an educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. Yeah, they may restrict rather than remove if it meets one or more of the following criteria. If it's educational, for example, explaining types of injuries that can happen as a result of doing the dangerous act, or describing your own experience being injured as a result of the dangerous act. It could also include the context explaining the types of precautions or training required to do the act safely and prevent injury. Saying don't try this at home is not sufficient context. Okay, nice. Next. Violent or criminal organizations. Gee whiz. Violent criminal organizations? What? Let's just watch this.
True or false? Posting a video that depicts the insignia, logos, or symbols of violent criminal or terrorist organizations in order to encourage others to join the group could result in your channel receiving a strike or being terminated. The answer is true. Content intended to praise, promote, or aid violent criminal or terrorist organizations is not allowed on YouTube. These organizations are not allowed to use YouTube for any purpose, including recruitment. If posting content on these topics for educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic purpose, be sure to provide enough information in the video itself so viewers understand the context. Graphic or controversial footage, even with sufficient context, may be subject to age restrictions or a warning screen. Let's take a look at a couple examples. A creator uploads a video
violent
showing
extremist or
graphically
criminal?
violent
What is this
acts
section?
committed by a terrorist organization with no context. In another video, a news segment includes discussions of terrorism, but the video doesn't contain gory imagery. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines?
Yeah, the first one.
Yes, the first video violates our violent criminal organizations policy.
Nice
Remember
chat.
to
Did you
give
get
your
that?
audience as much context as possible in the video or content itself when you're documenting violent criminal organizations. And avoid extremely gory or violent imagery. But what about uploading a song celebrating one of these organizations? Is that a violation too? To learn more, go to the YouTube Help Center article on violent criminal organizations.
No.
Click
Short
here
answer
or
on
the
that
link in
one.
the description.
No.
Thanks for watching.
No. Celebrating terrorist leaders or their crimes in songs or memorials. Here are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. Raw and unmodified re-uploads of content created by terrorists. Celebrating terrorist leaders or their crimes in songs or memorials. Celebrating terrorist or criminal organizations in songs and memorials. Content directing users to sites that espouse terrorist ideology are used to disseminate prohibited content or are used for recruitment. So like imagine that you had no idea of a certain organization that you were singing about and you just didn't know what they were. If it was perceived that you were somehow celebrating them, it would be against the terms of service. And if it was an organization that was not criminal that you were celebrating, but it later became criminal as an organization, it's on you as a content creator to remove this content as well. So you kind of need to keep track of all the organizations that you talk about so that you don't celebrate them too hard. Dude, yeah, pull it off. Content directing users to sites that espouse terrorist ideology. Footage filmed by the perpetrator during a deadly or major violent event. Links to external sites that contain manifestos of violent attackers. Video game content which has been developed or modded to glorify a violent event. Does this include Wolfenstein? Or support violent criminal or terrorist organizations? To glorify a violent event? Like, I don't know. Glorifying violence against civilians. Fundraising. I mean, it's okay to glorify violence not against civilians, though. Does it not... They're just examples. It's not okay to glorify violence against members of the military, I'm sure. Is that against the law, like the regular law, would you say? In America... No, I said something. In America, is it against the law to promote violence against non-civilians? It can be illegal under certain circumstances, and whether or not the speech in question meets the legal definition of incitement or a credible threat. The First Amendment protects free speech, but there are limitations. Incitement to imminent lawless action. Under the standard established by the Supreme Court in Brandenburg versus Ohio, speech that incites imminent lawless action such as violence and is likely to produce such action is not protected by the First Amendment. Advocating for an attack on non-civilians in a manner that encourages immediate, concrete acts of violence that would likely fall under this prohibition. True threats. Speech that constitutes a true threat is not protected. A true threat involves statements where a reasonable person would interpret the speech as expressing a serious intent to commit violence, regardless of whether the speaker intends to act on the threat. Terroristic threats, material support for terrorism. Yeah. Yeah, who knows, man? Complicated. Okay, looks good. Next section. Violent criminal organizations. Violent or graphic content. Oh, boy. Here we go. We're getting into the good stuff. We're getting into misinformation, ADSA. I mean, we're almost done, actually. Oh, look at us go. Chat, how long have we been doing this? 2 hours. Whoa. Are we really 2 hours in? That's wild. Oh, there's a video for this one, too. Here, hold on.
True or false? Footage, audio, or imagery featuring natural disaster aftermath or medical procedures are never allowed on YouTube. The answer is false. If enough context is provided along with violent or gory content, we may apply an age restriction rather than remove the video completely. However, violent or gory content intended only to shock or disgust viewers, or content encouraging others to commit violent acts, is not allowed on YouTube. Let's take a look at some examples. A creator uploads a compilation video of car accident clips that feature violent and gory images. In another video, a creator uploads live footage of professional boxers in an arena with referees and an audience. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines? Yes, the first video violates our violence policy because it does not provide proper context for the clips. Remember, if you believe anyone is in imminent danger, you should reach out to your local law enforcement to report the situation immediately. But what about uploading violent imagery or audio that has been blurred, masked, or obscured? Is that okay? For a list of what we consider when determining whether to age restrict or remove content, and to learn more about our policies around violent content, go to the YouTube Help Center article. Click here or the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so violent or gory content is not allowed. Violent or graphic content. Footage, audio, or imagery involving road accidents, natural disasters, war aftermath, terrorist attack aftermath, street fights, physical attacks, immolation, torture, corpses, protests or riots, robberies, medical procedures, or other such scenarios with the intent to shock or disgust viewers. With the intent to shock or disgust viewers. Footage of corpses with massive injuries such as severed limbs. Ew. You can't show really gory stuff. You just can't show gore. You can't show gore. You can't show sex. You can't show gore. You can't show sex. You can't show any kind of stuff with minors. Just ever. Animals fighting, gosh. Content where a human maliciously mistreats an animal and causes them to experience distress outside of traditional or standard practices. Man, it's so political, yeah. Holy shamoly in here. Here's some pieces that never qualify for EDSA ever. Violent physical sexual assaults, video, still imagery, or audio. Footage filmed by the perpetrator during a deadly or major violent event in which weapons, violence, or injured victims are visible or audible. We may apply an age restriction rather than remove violent or graphic content if that content provides enough context to understand it. For example, content showing victims' injuries in a road accident may be removed, but we may age restrict that same content if presented with news coverage that explains the situation in context. Yeah. For educational use of violent or graphic content, this context must appear in the images or audio of the video itself. I mean, you would think they would also include that in the description, and you provide the appropriate resources when suicide comes up. We also consider public interest when deciding whether the content should be removed or age restricted. For example, we may age restrict graphic or violent content documenting war zones. We may also age restrict fictional violence when it contains graphical scenes such as people being dismembered or decapitated or shows human corpses with the severe injury. Generally, we are allowed dramatized violence when the content or metadata lets us know that the content is fictional or when it's apparent from the content itself, such as animated content or video game. So making art is still heavily okay, like making a show. Yeah, the amount of time the violent image, yeah. Not allowed. Violent or graphic content. You can show cockfighting if they're doing it in the wild, but not if they're incited to do it by coercion. Bullfighting with bulls being harmed like swords in the bull. Oh. Okay. Nice. Firearms. What could possibly be in here? Certain content showing how to remove safety devices will be prohibited. Content showing the use of handmade firearms, automatic firearms, and certain firearms accessories will be age restricted. Okay. Oh my god, it just keeps going. Provide instructions on manufacturing and the following. Okay. How to convert, how to install, how to remove. Firing a 3D printed firearm, firing a fully automatic rifle, firing a firearm with high capacity magazine. Content that is not allowed on YouTube. This section is so long. Oh no, it's just all crap at the end. Nice. Okay, we got it. Live streams that feature someone holding or handling a firearm, regardless of whether or not they are firing it. This is so specific. Showing users step-by-step instructions on how to finish a lower receiver in order to complete fabrication of a firearm. Lower receiver? I don't even know what that means. Showing users how to make silencer out of a flashlight, oil can, solvent catcher, or other parts. Yeah, live streams featuring someone holding or handling a firearm. This does not include firearms in video games. Wow. Yeah, there's this, there's some regulation around the firearms, but when it comes to playing a game, it's all on the table. Content that, I mean, if these video game platforms were YouTube, you wouldn't be able to be shooting people up, right? The intent of shooting people up in a game is kind of the problem, right? Like if you intend to shoot people up because you joined the game lobby and you're like, I can't wait to shoot people up, does that sound problematic? YouTube's throwing cold water on people who want to show you shooting up. So where does YouTube rank someone who wants to shoot people up in a game? Interesting questions, likely not to be answered here on this stream. Sale of illegal or regulated goods or services. Holy shinoli, chat, we're not going to be selling anything on the... If you came here to buy something, you are definitely in the wrong place. But for the sake of posterity, here's the video.
True or false? It's okay to post a video on YouTube that shows how to make or sell counterfeit currency. The answer is false. Content meant to sell illegal or certain regulated goods and services, such as currency, drugs, and more, is not allowed on YouTube. Let's take a look at a few examples. In one video, a creator uploads a comedy sketch in which characters act out making fake IDs to get into an exclusive club. In another video, a creator links to a site that sells fake passports. Do either of these videos violate our community guidelines? Yes. The second video violates our sale of illegal goods or services policy. We restrict content that intends to sell certain regulated or illegal goods and services through direct sales or links to sites that sell these items. But what about a video that links to a site that sells pharmaceuticals without a prescription? Is that allowed? To learn more, go to the YouTube Help Center article on the sale of illegal goods or services. Click here or the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Okay. Little of this will apply, right? Little of this will apply to us. The stream won't be trying to sell illegal or regulated goods ever. Organs. Pianos? Yes. Organs? Not for sale here. YouTube itself. Can't sell that. Online gambling sites not yet reviewed by Google. Pharmaceuticals without a prescription. Don't post content on YouTube if it aims to sell it. Yeah, or facilitate selling. Yep. Sex or escort services. Human smuggling. Yikers. If you're providing links or content information such as phone numbers, emails, or other means of contact, please hold chat. We're getting messages. Someone needs a lift from work. Okay, let's wrap up this one section then. Hard drug use or creation. Poison sale or creation. Instructional cheating. Here's some examples of content that's not allowed. Linking to an online gambling or sports betting site that is not approved. Selling counterfeit passports or providing instructions. How to purchase drugs on the dark web. A video of users making a purchase with software that generates fake credit card numbers. Including a link to an online pharmacy that does not require prescriptions. Displays of hard drug use. Non-educational content that shows the injection of intravenous drugs like heroin, huffing, sniffing glue, or taking tabs of acid. Making hard drugs. Minors using alcohol. E-cigarettes, tobacco, marijuana, vaporizers, misusing fireworks. Steroid use, non-educational content that shows how to use steroids for recreational purposes like bodybuilding. Selling soft drugs, such as providing links to sites facilitating the sale of marijuana or salvia. I see. Soft drugs? What's soft drugs? There's hard drugs. There's drugs. But do you know about the soft drugs? Gentle drugs? Kind drugs? I don't know about soft drugs, chat. But I do know we're not selling any. And we're not selling any hard drugs, including amphetamines, cocaine, DAXM, dextromethorphan. Flunitrazepam. Fentanyl. I know some of these. I don't know all of these. We won't be selling any of these. GHB, heroin, ketamine, some of these types of hard drugs featuring selling hard drugs. Yeah, we're not selling. LSD. K2. What? Is K2. Mescaline, methamphetamines, isotonitazine, what? Opium, PCP, psilocybin and psilocybe, magic mushrooms. Cyanide, chloroform, mercury. Man, this is not a channel that sells these products. Confirmed. Content that promotes a cannabis dispensary. Content that reviews brands of nicotine e-liquid. May not be appropriate. Age restricted. Great. Wait, what was that? That was the sale of illegal or regular goods or services? Okay, and then we have misinformation, elections misinformation, and medical misinformation to go. All right, great work, chat. Thanks for coming out today. That was a lot. I absolutely struggled through that in the most sincere way. So while the name of this channel is still struggling here, and who knows how the name of the channel is going to go, we're gonna find our name and we're gonna find our brand over time. But right now we just need to get through these terms of service. And thanks for coming out and struggling with me today. Good luck to us all who abide by the terms of service.